So I've been trying to make a video for 7 or 8 days now. It's a video that I've been planning for many, many months on comics that I really love by a creator I really admire. And I thought I had a lot to say about it, but I've just not been able to get it done or even honestly get it started. I've tried a number of different things. I've tried to be completely spontaneous without a script, tried writing a very tight script that I follow to the letter. I've changed the lights around, I've changed the camera, I've changed the audio setup, and nothing seems to be working. I just can't seem to get this done. And I think it's obvious that it's because of everything that's going on around us, everything that's going on in the world right now, which I thought maybe I don't need to address on this channel because I'm sure everyone's got their fill of the coronavirus and the isolation. And this is a channel in which we talk about comics, and people would like to maybe, I thought, come here as a refuge from all of that. But it just seems like a very weird thing to do, to pretend that it doesn't exist. The the current situation seems to have also been exacerbated by the lockdown in India, where I live, which has taken what is obviously a very dangerous medical situation and also created what, in my opinion, is a horrible humanitarian crisis. And I've just been online. I've been reading stuff in newspapers online and on Facebook, and I've even gone onto Twitter, which I never follow. And I've been unable to tear myself away from these things. And the more I read and the more I look at things, the less I feel like I can actually do anything about it. The more helpless I feel stuck where I am, and the more hollowed out it seems to be making me feel. And even though I love comics and even though I love talking with all of you about comics, I've found it harder and harder to pretend that these things aren't going on. And I thought that maybe before I put away this microphone and this particular setup and go into trying another thing, I thought that maybe I could make a little video in which I talk not to you or at you, but just talk about a couple of things that I am thinking about right now, that I'm feeling right now. And maybe it would serve as a form of catharsis. It would definitely, hopefully, bring us even closer together, because we are all in the same position. No matter where we are, no matter what the exact situation in the location we are, it seems to be, unlike anything else I've seen, a thing that we all share. And it's this sharing, or rather, it's the inability to see this thing as a thing that we all share that I think is affecting me the most. It's not the medical situation, it's not the danger of the virus, although those are obviously considerable. I don't want to get here and tell you to stay safe or make sure that your loved ones are safe, because of course you'll be doing that. What has really affected me has been the kind of behavior or attitudes that I've seen online from people about the current situation, and how divisive and how painful some of these things are at a time when I thought that there would be no controversy in people coming together and people thinking along the same lines. And what I think is really bothering me is somehow this lack of kindness that I think has somehow permeated into our lives, where we aren't able to see how other lives can be. We can't see how other pains can exist. We've become, it seems to me, so wrapped up in our lives and what we think is important and the politics that we have, that we are unable to take this very basic empathetic step of stepping into someone else's shoes and seeing life and seeing the situation from their point of view. I know that I am among the most privileged people. I'm sitting over here in my apartment with my family close by, and I'm talking to you on the internet. I have an internet connection. I have a computer. I have a camera. You're sitting over here listening to me talk on an internet connection on a computer. And there are a lot of people who are not in this situation. And there are a lot of people who would never dream of being in this situation. And how we can be so disconnected from people who are all in the same boat, who are all on this planet with us, is staggering. The crisis that I see in India today is something unlike I've ever seen or even heard of before. And I wonder, how did we get to this place? How did we get to this area where we can dismiss the lives of thousands, tens of thousands of people, how we can be so cruel and so cold in our complacency, how we can be angry and nasty and sarcastic, but can't feel like these are our fellow human beings. There's a quote by Kurt Vonnegut Jr. that I really like from God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater. It's a very famous quote, and it's a letter to all the babies that are born on this planet, and it goes like this. Hello, babies. Welcome to Earth. It's hot in the summer and cold in the winter. It's round and wet and crowded. On the outside, babies, you've got about 100 years here. There's only one rule I know of, babies. God damn it, you've got to be kind. And I love that quote because I do think there's only one rule. There's only one rule, really. We can be anything we want to be. We can be however we want to be. We can be as independent and as abrasive and as loquacious or as introverted or as extroverted as we want to be. But kindness, the willingness to be more than just ourselves is vital for us as a species, it seems to me. And how we deal with a situation like the one we are in right now isn't only about the equipment, and it's not only about the practices. It's about how we approach things. And maybe we've gone wrong somewhere where we can so casually say, those people don't matter, or these things are exaggerated, or this is a conspiracy. There is a tendency, I think, for us to always be firmly set in whatever prejudices and belief systems we had before anything happened, and then treat what's happening through just that filter of that pre-existing notion. But when do we realize that it's gone too far? That's the part that I don't understand. I don't understand if we'll realize that. And I know that to a large extent that I'm sort of preaching to the choir here. This is an echo chamber because all of you are people who subscribe to this channel where we talk about literature and we talk about craft and we talk about comics from all over the world. And we are all over the world sharing things like art and appreciation of it in a way that is truly glorious and unifying. And I know that I'm talking to people who probably already think the way I do and feel the way I do, but maybe we need to start calling things out. And I don't mean with anger, I don't mean with rancor, although those are obviously natural reactions. Exasperation and irritation and sarcasm and condescension are natural, knee jerk reactions. But maybe we need to call people out to be kinder. Maybe we need to talk to people about putting themselves into other people's shoes. Maybe we need to illustrate, maybe we need to illuminate in a way that we feel we're not capable of doing. And I don't think that's true. I think we are capable of doing so. I think we've got to step outside somehow just the echo chambers and just the congratulations that we give each other and just the anger that we share in things. And over here, I don't mean whether you're for a particular government or against a particular government or a political party. I know these things become the talking points, but before we condemn something, or before we dismiss something, or before we label something in a way that's very, very convenient, let's just try to make people see things from another point of view. And I don't mean another political point of view. I don't mean another theoretical point of view. I don't mean what you know about Keynesian economics versus what I know about philosophy or anything like that. I mean just people, human beings that we share our world with. If there's only a way that we could get everyone to think about one other human being whose life is very different from theirs, whose situation is very different from theirs. And then let's see if we can speak with the confidence and with the dismissal that we do. I know that I should have probably scripted this and probably made it one of the more polished and edited videos in order to have the kind of impact that I wanted to have, but I don't know what else I can do at this point of time. I know that we can donate money. I know that we can support charities, but there is something beyond the charity. There is something beyond the altruism, beyond the thing that makes me feel good about me having done my part. It's about connecting and asking people to connect, which is, I think, more than any other time in history, is something that's needed over here. I'm tired of hearing people say, this is the way the world is, as if it's physics or chemistry, because it's not. There are man-made laws, there are man-made rules, whether it's about the stock market or whether it's about laws. These things come from us, and it's about time that we stopped taking those things as an excuse for the things we can't do anything about in our minds, because I think we can if we stop thinking about them as the laws of gravity. Of all the things I've seen that have broken my heart over the last week, of all the things that I've read, I've found myself unable to look away and yet wondered what good this is doing me. I don't know what the answer to that is. I know that we love people in our lives. And if we just extend that to not be our family or our friends or our drinking buddies, but everybody, every human life, if we could extend that, we could, I think, every one of us make a difference. I saw a video of Jeff Goldblum reading from Dr. Seuss's Horton Hears a Who. I'll link it in the description below. But here's a quick clip from it.
Uh-oh. There it is. Some poor little person who's shaking with fear that he'll blow in the pool. He has no way to steer. I'll just have to save him. Because after all, a person's a person, no matter how small.
And I know this is just a Hollywood movie star reading something from their house, but I didn't grow up with Dr. Seuss. I wasn't an American kid. I was an Indian kid, so that means I grew up with British stuff, Enid Blyton, Russian folk tales and stuff. And I don't know if I've properly appreciated Dr. Seuss until Mr. Goldblum's delivery. So what's the point of this video? I don't know. If you've lasted this long, thank you. I think it's just a way for me to put something on camera and record something. I'm not even sure if I want to upload this, but maybe this will unblock me and I can get on with the business of making comics videos. But we need kindness, we need empathy more than we ever have before. And I could think of only this, and I could think of only this as what I could do. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.